So what's going on here? We're at day 2 at the moment. So yesterday we drove off in the car, as you probably could see, and we went to a caravan park, but the place we wanted to go to didn't actually work out. The place I found on Google Maps is actually not a place, so we ended up going somewhere else, and then it turned out because of Easter weekend it's really busy everywhere and we couldn't have a fire there. So I thought maybe we shouldn't go there and see if we can find somewhere with a fireplace at least, because otherwise, you know, what are we going to do at night? We found another place and they told us, we don't have any spots available, but then after a little bit of a conversation they worked out that we only wanted to stay for a night and then it was all good. We ended up arriving there in the dark, and so there was not really much to film. And as you probably have seen with the title of this video, it's sort of it's not the kind of normal video I would make. So my mum passed away last year in December, and it was kind of something that was going to happen eventually. We knew it was coming. It was because of cancer, which, you know, almost everyone knows someone that has a member of their family pass away, or friends all around us. It's a very hard time for us and it's still not easy. So this trip is a little bit different, as I like to actually travel with my mate. And so there's a few reasons for that, but I'll talk about that a little bit later.
I try to pick it all apart to see what it's done to my heart. It must have been broken in two. Time is the strangest thing I know. It can go by so fast and move painfully slow. Mother, you need to know your love is everywhere I go. Mother, I wish you could see all the things that you've done for me. Mother, you need to know your love is.
And so as you all know, I love my camping, motorcycle camping specifically. A mate of mine who would love to come with me, but he doesn't own a motorcycle, nor somehow he doesn't like motorcycles enough to get one. So I need you guys to help me convince him to get a bike. I had to choose to either go out on my own again, or actually make the effort, as I have very little time these days, and take the time and actually hang out with one of my better mates that I have here in Australia. And so I did, because in the last few years I've really started to realise what life is about and what's important and things like that. So I think it sort of changed my perspective on things. There he is now, Mr. Alan. Welcome to the show.
How's it going, guys?
You sort of missed out on yesterday. Yesterday we saw some kangaroos and wombats. But unfortunately it was starting to get a bit dark, so I don't think the GoPro could have seen it. So you might have to just believe me for it. And so today we're in Kangaroo Valley, or we were, and now we're checking out a waterfall and see if we can get some nice shots. And that's it.
I don't recognize these roads, and every mile behind me reminds me of your ghost. I can't leave myself alone, but I've got nowhere else to go.
So in those last few years I've sort of learned that you kind of lose track of time and what is important, what you do with that time. A lot of the time, especially in Australia, people seem to make it really hard to make plans, and I think it's something that in Europe doesn't happen as much. And like my mate here, he's got a Turkish background, experiences the same thing. So you can't just call up and let's go have dinner. No, it has to be a plan that you plan a few days ahead. The experience of having friends and family in your relationships are in a way not as good. Like, they're still very valuable, but the bonding is, there's just a lot less bonding because you don't spend as much time together, and people feel like, you know, they don't have the time. So you're having dinner, it doesn't have to be a big thing, you can just catch up for a couple hours and that's it. Whereas here usually it becomes a whole afternoon / dinner, maybe a little bit of the night as well, you know. So just a little bit different the way it works. I've been living here for quite a while now, so I didn't get to see my parents and family that much. So when I do see them, I always make sure to make the most of it. And I think in a way, it's been good for me to really appreciate the time that I did have with my mum and make the most of it as well. So even though I was living on the other side of the country, I think the time that we did spend together was quality time. And I think that's very important. It's important to actually make time for friends, and even though I wanted to go riding, I decided that, you know, what I should be doing is spending also time with my friends, and that's what this is all about. So today is all about just creating that bond, just spending that time together with actual people, you know, and not trying to stick to your own little world. And Alan's been really good. Like he comes and visits me all the time, so we actually have quite a good bond because of that. Because he makes the effort, he doesn't have a family as of yet, so he's got a bit more flexibility, and he makes use of that. So it's great. What do you reckon? Should we get a drone up here? You reckon we can get some good shots out here? I think so.
What if I lose it all? What if I'm a lost cause? What if I don't make it home to the things that I know? What if I lose it all? There's a man beyond these bones, and I feel his hollow heartbeat echo through the halls. I can't make myself at home, but I've got nowhere else to go. What if I lose it all? What if I'm a lost cause? What if I don't make it home to the things that I know? What if I lose it all?
And so when someone passes away close to you, you kind of realize, you know, you got to spend time with people you care about. And hence this little trip is that, you know, I also care about Elle, and it's part of the reason why we're here, so we can actually get to spend some quality time together. And yeah, especially with all the family life and things like that, it's just really hard to find the time in the first place, but also to take the time and decide that this is what you should be doing. And it's hard sometimes it gets really tricky when you get stuck in your ways, and it's sometimes hard to get out of those, isn't it? So I think a little trip like this is very good for the soul, and I have to thank my wife for this, because she obviously is at home with the bub. Without her, this would not be possible, and making these videos would not be possible either. So I have a lot to be thankful for, and obviously she's been very supportive with the loss of my mum as well. So yeah, even though it's very sad, I'm also happy the way things went. Maybe in a later video I'll talk about in a bit more detail what exactly happened and how it happened, but it all happened the way she wanted it to happen, so I'm very, very grateful for that. So next time you see me, I'll probably be on the bike again, because what do I love the most? You know it.